Hi everybody. So I won't take too much of your time. So, once upon a time in a land far, far away called Scotland, a little girl called Jude was born. And when she was 6 years old, she started to pull out her eyelashes. So I was born in 1979, and in 1985 there was no internet. In the UK, even today, nobody really knows what this is. So my parents took me to the doctor, and under bad advice, they were advised it was bad behaviour. So for 4 years, it was quite a sad story. I was physically punished for my pulling, and I was name-called, etc. And it was quite a hard time, but don't worry, it's going to get better. It's going to get better. So around about the age of 10, my parents were so frustrated. Parents, I understand that. I really do. Just try not to shame your children. That's really important. So they took me to the doctor, and he said, she needs a psychiatrist. So I was like, what's a psychiatrist? And I went to the psychiatrist, and my mum and dad went in first. And my mum and dad came out, and they said, darling, we're not going to punish you anymore. Everything's going to be okay. And I was like, what? So I still didn't have a name for it. I still didn't know what this thing was. But I went through my adolescent years still carrying a lot of shame, trying to learn how to make makeup work that was actually quite emo, quite goth looking, trying to look normal. And this continued into my early 20s. When I was 23 years old, I remember one night just having a good cry, because I was really feeling down about this, and I typed the word, I googled the word pulling out eyelashes into Google. And this word kept coming up, and I was like, tricha what? And this word just kept coming up. And I emailed a lady from Atlanta, Georgia, called Kamala. I think some of you might be familiar with Kamala. And a year later, I flew out to Atlanta, and I stayed with her for 2 weeks. And my mum and dad were watching me flying off in the airplane to go and visit this lady in Atlanta. But I was still in the closet. I was still carrying shame. So a few years later, I work at the University of Glasgow. I deliver lectures in psychology. I got a brain. I don't always show that, but I did. So as part of my lectures, I lecture on trich every year. I don't tell them I have it, but I cover a section in trich, and I cover a section in skin picking. And then I was offered, for promotional purposes, a PhD position. And I said, okay, I'll do this PhD, but on one condition. I want to do it on this condition called trichotillomania. And they're like, tricha what? I said, trichotillomania. Now, in my department in psychology, nobody does clinical or abnormal psychology. My supervisors took a chance on me. They're psycholinguists. Psycholinguists don't do abnormal psychology. But with my inside knowledge, driving the hair pulling stuff, and with their knowledge, with the paradigms, etc., we put together this PhD, and I'm still working on it because it's part-time. But I was still in the closet, and I was still carrying shame. So let's fast forward to last year in Los Angeles, my third conference last year. I like talking to the parents. You parents have probably noticed that I've been coming up to you all weekend saying, hi, how's your conference? I think that's really important, because my parents didn't have that. And last year, one particular mother and I spent a lot of time together, and she asked me, what can I do for my daughter? And I said, really? You can't stop her pulling. She owns her pulling. Only she can stop it, but you can love her. And I was flying home to Schiphol in Amsterdam last year, and I don't know what happened, but something clicked. And for the first time in years, I didn't pull for 5 whole weeks. I grew back my eyelashes. It was amazing. I grew back my eyelashes, my eyebrows, and my scalp underneath here started to fill in. 5 weeks later, things changed. And although I was devastated, that was still a huge thing. So I went on vacation, or as we say, holidays in the UK. I went on my holidays to Portugal and Barcelona, where I was room sharing with someone. Still in the closet, still in shame. Room sharing's really tough if you have trich or skin picking, right? How hard is it? And I thought, you know something, I'm just going to walk into the room with no makeup on, and let's see what she says. And she was like, you're just Jude. You're still Jude. And that sat with me. So I came home from Portugal, and I sat down at my computer on the evening of the 4th of August, and I typed the following status on Facebook. After years of posting, raising TTM awareness on Facebook, I've decided to publicly state that not only do I research this, but that I myself have had this since I was 6. I'm now 35. My close friends and family know, but I do my best to hide it from others due to the shame that hair loss brings. I'm sure many may have noticed though. I'm not making this post for attention, far from it. I do my best to hide it. But because I want to reduce this shame and do what I can to help others who are afflicted by this condition, most suffer in silence. I could not have done this without so many people. And I feel a great weight's been lifted from my shoulders. And I'm not usually into the selfie thing. I don't usually count likes, but that status within 24 hours got 186 likes and 69 comments. And I was kind of set free. So where am I today? Well, oh my goodness, I'm here today with no makeup on. I didn't think that would ever happen. October, November, December last year, I hit another 9 weeks. 9 weeks! I don't know how I did it. I reached another 9 weeks. I broke, but I did it. Yeah. So yeah, I'm still educating people today. Honours students line up to work with me. I like to think it's because I'm cool, but it's also because they love the area. I'm the only person doing abnormal psychology. 5 girls did their dissertations with me last year, 4 the year before, 3 the year that. We're getting the word out there. So recovery is not just about being pill-free, because if you had told me 10 years ago I'd be standing here, I would first of all have burst into tears, and then I would have pulled myself together and I would have laughed. Yeah, so I don't want to make it sound like an Oscar speech, but one of the reasons I came out was Sandy Rosenblatt's Huffington piece, The Secret I Wear on My Face. That always stuck with me. That piece really stuck with me. Joe, I love you, man. And Nathan and Christina and so many other people who just continually believe in me. There's so much more I could have said. So we're going to get there. If you have a relapse, don't worry. We're going to get there. There's hope.